By the way, I don't know if you guys heard about what Trump said about death penalty and drug dealers. Did you see this?
No.
It's very interesting. Rob, can you, if you could.
This
This
is
is President
recently?
Trump talking about death penalty with drug dealers. I'm going to get your thoughts on it. Go for it, Rob.
If you notice that every country that has the death penalty has no drug problem, they execute drug dealers. And when you think about it, it's very humane because every drug dealer, on average, they say, kills at least 500 people, not to mention the damage they do to so many others, but they kill large numbers of people. China, Singapore, actually, there are quite a few, many in Asia, where they have the death penalty. There's no drug problem whatsoever. They come to our country because we have a much softer policy. We give them a slap on the wrist and say, kill a lot of people. So we are going to, I don't know if our country is ready for it. I am ready for it, the death penalty if you deal with drugs.
strong.
You know, you have to set out guidelines like fairly large numbers, et cetera. But you'll have it go down very greatly. One of the
Pause it. Thoughts?
I think it would fix the problem. I agree with him. Logic. I mean, it is very strong. Do I answer from an emotional perspective? And you know what's actually funny? From an emotional perspective, after being through the lawfare I've been through and the accusations I've been through when I was innocent, I'm actually far less death penalty than I was before the accusations. Because before the accusations, I was 100% death penalty. And now, after seeing how you can get fucking wrecked in a court when you've done nothing wrong, I'm a lot more, whoa. Don't calm down. So emotional. whoa.
Take it easy.
Take it easy. They made it all up. Chill. So, from an emotional perspective, I hear that and I'm kind of like, okay, that is strong. But then from a logical perspective, logically, is he right about China and Singapore? Yes. Would it reduce the drugs and would it fix the problem? Yes. I mean, it's a solution. Trump is a solution-orientated man. It is a solution. Often, what you'll do, and I actually think Trump is smart enough to understand this, he says things that gets people very emotionally upset. But what did we say earlier about the threat of violence? You won't need the death penalty if you have the threat of the death penalty. I actually argue that if you do that and you implement that, and you get one or two of them, and maybe you kill a couple people, not that many, or maybe you put them on death row and let them out 21 years later on appeal. But if just the idea of it will fix the problem. So I think that's what he's actually doing here.
Oh, same with pedophilia. I think this is me, Andrew. I'm dead serious. If you are caught sexually assaulting a young kid, you're 100% castration. And then
That part is fine.
Yeah.
I mean, that I
Sharia
think
law.
more people are...
Easy, Tate. Easy, guy.
Am I at 99% trouble yet?
More people are there. But what I'm asking you is, think about it. Drug dealer, death penalty.
but he's in a massive amount. If it's hold on.
Let me tell you something.
What
do you remember that they decriminalized and legalized all drugs in Oregon? So we have federalism in the United States. Certain states are like, yo, get crazy with it.
Yeah, but
certain states, Trump's talking about
What are you
this. But
saying, though?
what I'm saying is you're not going to listen. What happened during Prohibition? They criminalized liquor, and then what happened? The moonshine business went to the roof, and all of a sudden, that's how the
This
mob
guy's
basically
talking
came to
death
it.
penalty.
But Trump's a genius. His intention with saying this is to see if the American public will accept it. If they accept it, he will implement it. Once it is implemented, he will then put a couple people on death row, which he may not even kill, which makes the drug traffickers less likely to take the job without a lot more money, which makes the drugs more expensive, which makes them harder to acquire. It's harder to get drug mules. It's all a big famoose. It's show business. Trump's a genius. He knows exactly what he's doing. He hasn't got to kill a single person, just like I do not have to hit my son, because I would. That's what's happening.
Pow pow.
Vinny,
The threat of.
anything else for you?
no,
You're not fully there, though. I
Well,
don't see you being fully there.
do you know how many Americans die just from fentanyl by drug dealers every single year? Do you know the number?
100K?
Hundreds some thousand. You kill one freaking, and I'm with you, Andrew. You kill one of these freaking guys, and I'm telling you right now, that shit would slow down immensely.
But also, guys, there's another thing. There's another element this here that we're missing. That is a threat. That's not a threat to drug dealers. You know that's a threat to nation states, right? You know that when we were in Afghanistan, we ensured the opium was grown because we sent the opium to China and Iraq, and we wanted to subvert their populations, and Iran. You do know that, like, America does it. America produces drugs and sends them to their enemies. You do know China is sending drugs here. This is a veiled threat to nation states. This is deeper than just some idiot getting a death sentence. This is letting people know that your spies will get assassinated. This is deep. This is many layers deep.
And by the way, the part of me loves this, and a part of me wants to see the counter argument. Make the argument on what's the right thing to do here. Okay. You make one example of a drug dealer getting killed on death penalty. So the guy says, hey, man, you're going to make $100,000 on this cocaine. Hey, bro, I'm good.
Yep.
Yeah,
You know
but
what?
please,
But then,
listen,
okay, so you
no.
want to make the argument? Then almost what percentage of doctors are going to jail? Because those motherfuckers are putting prescriptions
Listen,
out for Vicodin.
there was a doctor. You're right. There was a
Okay,
doctor.
so then how
that-
far the big pharma's
but
going to jail?
Guess what, though?
Albert Bourla, who made the vaccine
I remember
from Pfizer,
a dentist.
going to jail?
A dentist was selling Vicodin to my friend who eventually died because he took 50 of them.
Weird.
A dentist was selling them back in the days. It was
And that's legal.
$10 a
drugs.
pop, $8 a pop, because you would buy so many of them. No, but to me, that dentist needs to be held accountable. I know who this
agree.
dentist. That dentist needs to be held accountable. Guys like this are out there. This was 20 years ago. By the way, what's today's? Okay, in 2 months it's going to be 20 years. Those guys need to be held accountable. Something like this can scare the shit out of a lot of people. Let's go to the next story.
Before we move on, it's really interesting because what we're actually discussing here is the entire attitude towards law enforcement as a whole. And this is something I've been researching heavily since I got out of jail. When I was in jail in Romania, I sat there and I was with a bunch of people in jail. And obviously you all discuss your stories. And one guy was in jail for looking in a car window. There was car break-ins on this street. He was walking up and down the street. The police caught him looking in a window. Didn't bring in the car. He was looking in the car, and they arrested him and said, we think you did it, jail. So the Romanian attitude towards justice is we may get a few innocent bystanders, but we just lock up everyone, but society is safe. Whereas if you look at the British or the American way, we have larger crime problems than Romania because we believe in individual liberty. So often with most law enforcement decisions, you have to decide, do you think of the ant or the ant farm? Because if you think of the ant farm, some ants just die. And lots of countries do this. Japan has a 99% conviction rate. Do you think that's because they're so fantastic at law enforcement? Or do you think that's because some innocent people go to jail because they care more about the perception of law and order than they care about one person's individual liberty? So this is what's interesting. It is the West that believes in what about this individual's liberty? And it's other countries that think we're prepared to sacrifice some people for the greater good, for the good and sanctity of society as a whole. There are different approaches to law enforcement. That's why China and Singapore do that. China and Singapore, I will guarantee, have executed some innocent people. But in the end, less people have died. It's the same. It's the guy with the cart. You've seen the cart, and there's one person in front, and there's 5 people, the train on the tracks, and he has to pull the lever. That's all it is. And this is the approach to law enforcement globally. It's actually only Western nations that give a shit about individuality. In countries like Romania, they're like, people think he may have done it. He's a big guy. Fuck it. It's just fuck it. Fuck it. He looked in the car window? Maybe. But you can walk around at 3 a.m. with a diamond watch on. You're not going to have any trouble. So it's
Couple
balance.
more topics before we wrap up. Good point. Nowadays, more than ever, the brand you wear reflects and represents who you are. So for us, if you wear a Future Looks Bright hat or a Valuetainment gear, you're telling the world, I'm optimistic. I'm excited about what's going to be happening, but you're a free thinker. You question things. You like debate. And by the way, last year, 120,000 people got a piece of Future Looks Bright gear with Valuetainment. We have so many new things. The cufflinks are here. New Future Looks Bright. This is my favorite, the green one. Just yesterday, somebody placed an order for 100 of these. If you watch the PBD podcast, you got a bunch to choose from. White ones, black ones. If you smoke cigars and you come to our cigar lounge, we have this high quality lighter cutter and a holder for the cigars. We got sweaters with the Valuetainment logo on it. We got mugs. We got a bunch of different things. But if you believe the future looks bright, if you follow our content and what we represent with Valuetainment, with PBD Podcast, go to VTmerch.com. And by the way, if you order right now, there's going to be a special VT gift inside just for you. So again, go to VTmerch.com, place your order, tell the world that you believe the future looks bright. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.